Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We've got a packed episode today, from a second assassination attempt on Donald Trump to Harvard's enrollment shifts and the US facing a $1 trillion interest bill. There's a lot to cover, so let's dive in. Donald Trump responds to second assassination attempt. Former President Donald Trump has responded after a second assassination attempt was thwarted at his Florida golf club. In a statement, Trump thanked law enforcement and the Secret Service, saying, "I would like to thank everyone for your concern and well wishes. It was certainly an interesting day." He went on to praise the U.S. Secret Service and local law enforcement for their swift response, calling their work outstanding. What we know so far: the suspect, 58-year-old Ryan Wesley Ruth, was arrested after pointing an AK-47-style rifle through a fence near the course where Trump was playing. Secret Service agents immediately opened fire, but Ruth managed to flee before being captured about 50 miles away. Along with the rifle, authorities recovered a scope, 2 backpacks, and a GoPro camera near the scene. Ruth, originally from North Carolina and now living in Hawaii, has a long history of legal troubles dating back to the 1990s. He was reportedly critical of Trump on social media and had previously traveled to Ukraine to fight on behalf of the country during its ongoing war with Russia. The FBI is investigating the incident as a potential assassination attempt, though Ruth has only been charged so far with possession of a firearm as a convicted felon and possessing a firearm with a removed serial number. Authorities say that the investigation is ongoing, and they expect more serious charges could follow. This is the second time Trump has been targeted in recent months, following a previous incident where he was grazed by a bullet in Pennsylvania. Kier Starmer warns NHS must reform or die. Over in the UK, Prime Minister Keir Starmer is sounding the alarm on the state of the National Health Service, NHS, warning that it must reform or die. A recent independent report, led by Lord Darzi, paints a grim picture of the NHS, citing record waiting lists and soaring hospital costs as major areas of concern. Public health in the UK has been in decline for the past 15 years, with a lack of resources and inefficiencies plaguing the system. Starmer, however, isn't ready to give up. He's unveiled a 10-year plan he's calling the biggest reimagining of our NHS since its birth. The plan involves 3 key shifts: embracing digital healthcare technologies, expanding community-based care, and putting more focus on preventive health measures. Starmer's criticism focused on the Conservative Party's handling of the NHS, particularly their 2012 Health and Social Care Act, which he argues severely damaged the service. Harvard's black enrollment drops following SCOTUS ruling. Harvard University has reported a significant drop in black enrollment in its class of 2028, with numbers falling from 18% to 14%. This shift comes in the wake of the Supreme Court's ruling against race-conscious admissions policies, which has had a notable impact on the university's student demographics. Hispanic enrollment, on the other hand, rose slightly from 14% to 16%, while Asian American representation remained steady at 37%. White enrollment also saw an increase, moving from 29% to 32%. Harvard's Dean of Admissions, William Fitzsimmons, emphasized the university's commitment to maintaining a diverse community, despite the challenges posed by the new admissions policies. Meanwhile, the number of students choosing not to disclose their race or ethnicity nearly doubled, rising from 4% to 8%, complicating comparisons to previous years. This is one of the first visible impacts of the Supreme Court's decision on race-based admissions, and will likely see more data from other universities in the coming months as they adjust their policies. U.S. pays over $1 trillion in interest on national debt. For the first time in U.S. history, the federal government has paid over $1 trillion in gross interest payments on its national debt for the fiscal year 2024. The Treasury Department revealed that this figure is expected to reach approximately $1.16 trillion by the end of the fiscal year, which wraps up on September 30th. This staggering amount marks a 30% increase from the previous year. To put it in perspective, net interest payments for the year have reached $843 billion, overtaking major budget items like national defense, which currently stands at $798 billion. However, the rising interest payments have fiscal hawks worried about the growing cost of servicing the national debt, which now sits at over $35 trillion. This comes amid a contentious battle in Washington over government funding, with the possibility of a government shutdown looming. House Republicans recently scrapped plans for a budget vote after internal opposition from conservative members. It's clear that as the national debt continues to balloon, the cost of maintaining it will become an even bigger point of debate. President Biden reacts to Trump assassination attempt. President Joe Biden has weighed in on the recent assassination attempt on Donald Trump, commending law enforcement for their quick response and their ongoing efforts to protect the former president. In a statement, Biden said, "I commend the work of the Secret Service and their law enforcement partners for their vigilance and their efforts to keep the former president and those around him safe." He reiterated that there is no place for political violence in the U.S. and has directed his team to ensure that the Secret Service has all the resources they need to continue protecting Trump. The Secret Service has been under increasing pressure as threats against high-profile political figures have risen in recent years. Biden acknowledged the strain, commenting that the U.S. Secret Service needs more help to deal with the growing number of threats. Ryan Wesley Ruth, the man accused of the assassination attempt, is now facing charges related to possessing a firearm despite his felony conviction. The FBI is continuing its investigation, and more charges may be on the way. That wraps up today's recap. What do you think about Trump's response to the assassination attempt, or Harvard's changing admissions numbers? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily news updates. I'll see you all in the next video.